Okay, we're going to go through our pattern correction protocol. In most athletes, there are muscles that are tight and muscles that are inhibited, and correcting that pattern will give us better outcomes in the short term and in the long term. With muscles that are tight, they can shut themselves off. Muscles that are tight can shut off opposing muscles. For example, the tight hip flexors will shut off the glute max, and tight muscles non-locally can shut off muscles that seem disconnected from them. Like for example, the muscles in the back of the neck they're tight, they will shut off the glute max. Sometimes even the muscles in the feet will be tight, and they will shut off the glute max. So that pattern of inhibition and tightness, when it's corrected, we get better outcomes from our training, better outcomes from power skating, and less chance of being injured, either sudden acute injuries or long-term degenerative injuries. The first release we're going to do is for the splenius capitis, the muscles right here in the back of the neck. They run vertically outside the cervical vertebrae. So what we want to do is take the right hand, put it on the left splenius capitis, bring your head back, put the left hand over the right, and as your chin comes forward, put pressure on those muscles. So head comes back, put pressure on the muscles, chin comes forward, head comes back, put pressure on the muscles, chin comes forward. So this is the principles of active release therapy. We take a contracted muscle, put pressure on it, and lengthen it. So 3 at the top of the muscle, 3 in the middle of the muscle, head comes back, put pressure, head comes forward. And 3 at the bottom. Head comes back, put pressure on the muscle, chin comes forward. Head comes back, put pressure, chin comes forward. Head comes back, put pressure on the muscle, chin comes forward. And if you've done this with us before, you'll notice that very often releasing the muscles in the back of the neck will take an inhibited glute max, a glute max that isn't firing, and allow it to be firing, and then we get more of the activation work, we get more of the strength training, we get better outcomes on and off the ice. It's a very healthy thing to do, and it helps improve performance as well. The second movement in the pattern correction is for the jaw. The lateral pterygoids, the muscles here on the outside of the jaw. When they're tight, that can screw everything up. Keeping in mind, a tight muscle will shut off an opposing muscle. A tight muscle will shut off muscles like non-locally, like this muscle here can shut off the glute max as well. But a tight muscle can shut itself off too. If the muscles in the back of the neck or the jaw and the rotator cuff are shut off, then there's unnecessary stress going into the shoulder joint. The shoulder girdle is chronically unstable, and we're more likely to have a shoulder injury or even a concussion because the head is not as well stabilized as it should be. So doing these corrections will help all of that. So we want to put the ball on the jaw, and we open and close the jaw. You can spend about a minute and a half doing this. Sometimes people have really sore jaw. People will have sometimes migraines and other headaches, and this will help them a lot. About a minute and a half here. And if we test the glute max and it's inhibited, very often releasing the jaw muscle will activate the glute max. Okay, the next part of our pattern correction protocol, we're going to use a roller. You can use a big roller, but a small one is a little bit better. And we're going to use this roller to release the trap muscle. A tight trap muscle, of course, can shut itself off, making the head a little less stable, making the shoulder girdle a little less stable, and increase the chance of a shoulder injury or a concussion. But also, a tight trap muscle can shut off the glute max as well. So, we want to get the roller. We want to get the body about 45 degrees to the wall. Get the roller right parallel with the floor. We're going to come in here pretty hard, and we're going to roll. We're going to roll the trap muscle. And rolling the trap muscle, releasing the trap muscle, very often will activate the glute max. We see people have improvements with headaches and migraines and this kind of thing. And a tight trap, because we tend to have our shoulders up and tight, will really help everything, releasing the trap muscle, and the trap roller release against the wall. A great way to do it. We can spend about a minute to a minute and a half on this release. Next release we're going to do is for the infraspinatus, or any muscle in here that's tight will be a problem. But the infraspinatus, one of the rotator cuff muscles, is usually the culprit, but anything back here that's tight can be a problem. So what we do is, we get on the wall, we start just outside the shoulder blade, we look for an area that's really sore, a hot spot. We stay on that area when we find it for about a minute. And we want to be looking around. We can go to the rhomboids, see if they're tight. We can move the ball down the wall a bit on the lat muscle, or even on low back muscles, and see if it's tight through there. Looking for anything, any knots or any hot spots that are very tight, and we roll them. We want to spend the most, about a minute and a half on each area. And if it was really sore, we probably need to go back there later on that day or the next day and continue to get on it. But the infraspinatus muscle, the tightness back here, this is a big culprit for shutting off the glute max. And also in the rotator cuff muscle, one of the rotator cuff muscles is tight, or any of the muscles back here are tight, and that muscle is shut off, then again the whole torso is not as stable as it should be, and the chance of injuries are increased. Okay, so the concept of reciprocal inhibition, which means, of course, when one muscle fires, the opposing muscle relaxes, is extremely important. For example, if the bicep fires in an arm, the tricep relaxes. If the tricep fires, the bicep relaxes. So when these muscles here and the hip flexors are tight, which with a hockey player or almost anybody, they almost always are, the tightness through here can cause these muscles to become shut off, they become inhibited. And if we want to be like driving the leg backwards for full power, we need to have these muscles fully activated. We need to have them fully activated on the ice. We need to have them fully activated in the gym. So releasing these muscles with a lacrosse ball, or a hard ball, a hard baseball, or a softball, very important. You can get an ART provider to grind these muscles out, and that's even better. But then after that's been done, lacrosse balls, hard balls, or softballs help you to maintain that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a floor. We're going to grind hard through here. We can spend about a minute in this area. When we go outside the hip bone, we can spend about a minute in this area as well. We go on the side right here. The tensor fascial latae, we can check this out. This, if it's tight, will screw up the whole glute system. So we can grind hard through here. We can look right underneath the bone on the side of your butt. And right underneath there, the piriformis. We can roll through there to make sure that muscle is not sore. And we can also get on the ball or a small hard roller and roll down the thigh. This muscle here, the vas lateralis, when this is tight, this will shut off this muscle here, the vas medialis oblique. So the tightness through here can shut this off, and then the knee tracking doesn't work the way that it should. So we get down on the floor like this. We're going to get the ball just on the inside of the hip bone. We're going to roll through here. Look for any area that's sore. When we stand there, we really grind it out. We can spend about a minute on the inside of the hip bone. Go to the outside and roll through there as well. I'm going to fast forward it here, but we can spend about a minute and a half here. Then we get on the side. The TFL, or tensor fascial latae, we roll through here. Anything in here that's sore could screw up the whole glute system. We can get right here like this. And look for the piriformis with the ball and roll through there as well. Tight piriformis will have a lot of negative implications for training and for hockey in general, so rolling that is important. And we can use a small roller, or it's kind of painful, but you can use, I'll do the other leg, you can use a lacrosse ball on the muscle on the outside of the thigh, the vas lateralis. We roll through there. When we're rolling through here, we're going to go in 2-inch segments, about 5 times in each 2-inch segment, and to move down a little further, 2 more inches, go 5 times through there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ball a little lower. 1, 2, 4, 5. A little lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a lot of these muscles can be really sore, but regularly rolling these muscles combined with your strength training movements, like particularly split lunges, the ball work will release the muscles, and the loaded shortening and loaded lengthening will lock in those corrections. Okay, we're going to release the muscles on the bottom of the feet. Now, feet aren't really meant to be jammed in shoes or certainly in skates all the time. And the way we move, the way we sit, the way we perform athletically tends to create very tight muscles at the bottom of the feet. And when those muscles are tight and the muscles aren't doing their job, then the stress they should be absorbing goes up and down the whole body. It can cause a series of problems. We want to minimize those problems. We want to maximize the health of the foot. And rolling on a ball is a good way to do this. We can do this with also a golf ball. We want to be, you need to use, of course, a hard ball, a hard baseball. Some of the releases we do, some of the things we've done so far can be done with a hard ball or a soft ball. That's just fine. Hockey balls and tennis balls, not as much, they're just not hard enough. But the bottom of the feet, we want to really grind that out. That may be sore in the beginning. Sometimes it's really sore. So we're going to spend about 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes on the bottom of the foot. And then we want to make sure we're spreading the toes. So get on the ball, really spreading the toes. Because again, the toes are jammed in shoes all day, so the foot mechanics aren't allowed to move the way, the foot isn't allowed to move the way that it should. And again, unnecessary stress up and down the whole body. We can minimize that stress by spreading the toes on the ball. You can do this once or twice a day. And again, we maximize the health of the foot. A lot of our athletic performance is limited by the health of the feet. We get the feet healthier, we just move better, and our whole body, our entire musculoskeletal system will be healthier.